Jumpluff able to farm down, leaving absolutely loaded. Out comes Dugong, and we YOLO the Solar Beam. Does the opponent respect the damage? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are showcasing a team that I probably would never ever feature on the channel. However, we are running some incredibly fun movesets. Today's team is going to be memes, beams, and killing trainers' hopes and dreams. Today's very fun battle submission has been sent into the channel by Ohharrowdere. I'll be honest, I'm probably going to struggle to say that. So today we're going to call this trainer Harrow. Outside of Shadow Pokemon, I love Spice and landing nukes, and today we're going in with the nuke category as we've got a triple beam theme team. We've got Jumpluff running a Hail Mary Solar Beam, then we've got double normal in the back with Licky a far too thicky, running Solar Beam as well, and Diggersby running Hyper Beam, operating on the save switch. There's really not much more to say than that, so without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game one, Harrow finds himself in the mirror match. It's quite strange to be looking at a regular Jumpluff on my screen, facing off against the Shadow Jumpluff. We're going to farm up, attempt an acrobatics catch onto Diggersby. The opponent full sends the acrobatics, but Diggersby, especially the non-shadow version, is insanely thick. The opponent rebanks an acrobatics, then send up Marowak, and we are full sending the Hyper Beam right off the bat. Hyper Beam! Oh, as if it doesn't one-shot. Marowak just about able to survive, but likewise Diggersby, especially the non-shadow, going to be able to survive the Bone Club, and just like that, switch advantage is ours. Our opponent sends a backup Jumpluff, able to Fairy Wind farm down, and Licky far too thicky hits the field of play. It's kind of ironic that Licky is actually kind of a spice pick nowadays, as after the rollout nerf, you rarely see this Pokemon. The opponent baits with the Aerial Ace. No, I'm going to hold that for outcomes. Lapras, please tell me the Solar Beam lands. We are full sending Solar Beam. No, the opponent gets nuked again. I was going to say the opponent baited with the Aerial Ace, then able to land the acrobatics. We shield up the Sparkling Aura, commit to that rollout farm down, back out comes Jumpluff. Lickitung going to start unleashing the Body Slam spam, as of course Solar Beam would be double resisted. The opponent continuing to Fairy Wind farm away. Lickitung spamming the next Body Slam. Body Slam still goes unshielded. The opponent saving 2 shields. I'm not entirely sure what they're saving them for. Probably next season. To be honest, next season isn't all that far away. Our Jumpluff can just commit to the Fairy Wind farm down. They can YOLO on acrobatics, but I've played this matchup out time and time again. One isn't lethal. We Fairy Wind farm down and take that game. We're only one battle in, and I'm going to apologise to anyone listening on the headphones. I think there's going to be a few jump scares today with a lot of crazy nukes landing. In the next battle, we see the channel mascot Drapion in the lead position. We attempt a crunch catch onto Lickitung. Our catch attempt unsuccessful, and ironically, it's actually the opponent able to make the catch. Body Slam lands onto Glissapod. I'd love to see us YOLO a beam. Although all is not lost, as Lickitung, insanely bulky, going to be able to survive the Aqua Jet, and we are going to be able to reach the beam. The question is, does the opponent respect the damage? Solar Beam goes unshielded again. Holy cow, we are landing nuke after nuke. Out comes Jellicent. The opponent gets a very nice double resisted Hex farm down. We send out Jumpluff. The opponent going to fire off the Shadow Ball. The opponent then goes to the wham, bam, combo play, fire off the crunch. Jumpluff is outside of crunch range. We're going to see Ohharrowdere, or Harrow, save both Protect Shields for the Big Fat Bunny. Both the opponent's remaining Pokemon can hit Diggersby for super effective with the Aqua Tail and Surf respectively. But the quick moves of Hex is double resisted and Poison Sting's also resisted, so applying literally no fast move pressure. Unfortunately, Harrow ends up playing to the CMP tie. He does not win. It tanks the next Aqua Tail, fires off the Scorching Sands, which does force the first Protect Shield of the game. The opponent bank their energy on Drapion, send Jellicent back into the arena. We fire off the Scorching Sands, go for the combo play. Oh, I was really hoping we YOLO'd the beam. We go for the Aerial Ace bait. Oh, and it gets called as well. So we could have landed another beam, which is super unfortunate. Undeterred, Harrow just going to fire off the Aerial Ace spam, and the opponent is going to look to dump energy. So what's our win con? I guess we look to quick attack farm down this Jellicent. Unfortunately, with no Fire Punch, we're going to need to reach double Scorching Sands. The opponent's timer will be popping up shortly. Drapion finds itself in Fire Punch range, but of course we haven't got Fire Punch. I think we're just going to get outpaced. Back out comes Drapion. We fire off the Scorching Sands. Scorching Sands forces the final Protect Shield. We're going to need to quick attack farm this down before the second Aqua Tail's reached. Is it possible? No, it's not. The opponent is doubled up, and unfortunately this one is going to end in heartbreaking defeat. GG's to that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we see Jumpluff into the ever-annoying Marshmallow, or Wigglytuff as most of you probably call it. I think YOLO a beam here is kind of risky. As Wigglytuff users love to shield the first move, as most people that run nonsense tap charmers are quite degenerate. Although as I say that, the opponent able to make a very nice read, calling the aerial ace bait, we then look to catch the icy wind onto Licky, far too thicky. I think Diggersby is the designated safe switch in most scenarios, but of course you don't really want to catch a super effective charge move. Out comes Marowak, we're able to land the Solar Beam even at -1. Oof, that does a lot. I'm really not a huge fan of Shadow Marowak. I think it's just a degen pick. It just relies on a heavy fast move pressure, which isn't really my playstyle, and today these Marowaks are getting rocked with nukes all over the shop. Lickitung able to take back switch despite being debuffed. We then realign, sending Diggersby into Wigglytuff. The opponent sends out Claydol. Harrow once again gonna fire off the aerial ace bait, anticipating something that runs a debuff move, shielding the first move. Okay, we're able to force the first Protect Shield of the game. Harrow gonna be investing in a Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Rock Tomb. Surely this one lands now. Debuff Trainer, I promise. This is an easy tank of the acrobatics. Solar Beam! Oof! Rocks Claydol! Claydol! Oh my days, gets absolutely rocked into the red. We see Harrow make a very heads up play, not throwing his energy, instead looking to farm down Claydol. The opponent not wanting to concede a farm down, send out Wigglytuff. The opponent looks to call the Fire Punch bait, Scorching Sands, lands through the protection. We quick attack farm down and take that game. Heading into the next battle, we find ourselves a Toxapex lead. Once again, we look to utilise Lickitung on the safe switch, as it is our soft counter. The opponent sends out Annihilate. We go straight for the Solar Beam. Solar Beam rocks Annihilate down to around a third health. And at this point, Harrow just happy to go for the double resisted Body Slam. Body Slam actually forces a protection off Ape, which is best case scenario. The opponent is going to have to fire off a close combat or Ice Punch to pick up the knockout. The opponent throws the close combat, which does debuff their defense, which is going to minimise the farm for Jumpluff. But Jumpluff able to leave with the aerial ace, which we are going to bank, and Diggersby hits the field of play. We see Toxapex go for some chip-a-dip action whilst Brian is super effective. It doesn't look like it. That is such a garbage move. The opponent then sends out Sableye. Unfortunately, we can't YOLO a Hyper Beam here, as Ghost does double resist normal, so double Scorching Sands definitely is the right play. There's actually a regular, not Shadow or Purified Sableye. However, if they're running Dazzling Gleam as a second move, Dazzling Gleam actually does more damage despite only being neutral than a super effective Brine. That's just how bad Brine is and how bulky and non-existent Toxapex's attack is. This time we correctly shield up the Dazzling Gleam, which is a very good Protect Shield, and back out comes Toxapex. Toxapex going to be greeted with the Scorching Sands. Scorching Sands forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. We then pivot into Jumpluff. Oh baby, we're able to reach the Solar Beam. Solar Beam hits for neutral, but going to do a lot, easily putting the opponent into Scorching Sands range. Toxapex doing its best to pull off a miracle, but this game is over. We actually reached the part in aerial ace, and now we don't even need to throw a Scorching Sands. We can just quick attack farm down everything. Diggersby hits the field of play. Of course we get denied coming in, because who doesn't love a one-turn bring in? The opponent then pivot into Sableye, which just feeds our big fat bunny free energy. We could quick attack farm down. We could have thrown the Scorching Sands. But you know what the most fun path to victory is? YOLO in the Hyper Beam. Is it necessary? Super necessary. You've always got to YOLO the beam wherever possible, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Shadow Malamar in the lead position. Definitely where the team wants to see it, as a backline won't fancy tanking a superpower. Out comes Diggersby. You know what they won't fancy tanking? A Solar Beam. Solar Beam gets little respect. Diggersby gets absolutely rocked. We rebank some energy and enter the mirror. Harrow did attempt to catch a Fire Punch. Our catch attempt was unsuccessful, but you can see a regular Diggersby versus a regular Diggersby. These Scorching Sands that really don't do much of anything. Harrow very easily able to keep alignment. Back out comes Malamar. I don't even know if a Shadow Superpower knocks out from here. The opponent throws the Superpower. Diggersby withstands the damage, and the opponent actually able to snipe with Tinkaton. So this core has been super common. Henry, Axon, all your favourite content creators have posted this Malamar Tinkaton core. If you want the fun version of that team, just sub out this stupid Stinky Tinky for Galarian Weezing and you'll be off to the races. We send out Licky, far too thicky. We're able to force a Protect Shield. The opponent probably fearful of an Earthquake, which of course we don't have. The opponent then go for a Bulldoze bait. Bulldoze doesn't do much of anything, and Harrow just going to spam out Body Slam after Body Slam. The opponent once again shield. We bank the Solar Beam and then look to make a catch of what should be a Bulldoze onto Jumpluff. Oh, that is a triple resisted catch. Harrow, you absolute savage. This Tinkaton's actually going to provide quite a problem for us, as everything we can throw is going to be resisted. The opponent sends back out Malamar. We see Harrow Investor Protect Shield blocking up the foul play, and we are finally going to get to see that big beam land. Malamar straight in and straight out. Back out comes Tinkaton. We're just going to settle for the Aerial Ace. I guess hopefully Aerial Ace puts this thing into Solar Beam range. I guess we're about to find out. As Harrow goes for the wham, bam, combo play. YOLO's the Solar Beam. Solar Beam, unfortunately, isn't quite lethal. We've still got a shield to hide beyond, but both Pokemon insanely low. We shield up the Bulldoze. The opponent is doubled up. Now the question becomes, has Jumpluff got enough HP to reach the Aerial Ace? Jumpluff re-enters the arena. The opponent looks at the Fairy Wind farm down. Jumpluff says no, reaches the Aerial Ace, and we're able to emerge victorious. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle. We see Jumpluff into Wigglytuff. The last opponent didn't respect our charge move, so I wonder if this time we just YOLO the beam and then look to catch the Icy Wind onto Lickitung. We're actually again going for the Aerial Ace bait. This time the Aerial Ace bait is successful, but once again we're able to catch the Icy Wind onto Licky far too thicky. I'm sure by now someone's posted in the comment section saying this is Lickilicky, not Lickitung. Yeah or no, it's all the same thing to me. Out comes Claydol. The opponent able to debuff us once again. We are going to YOLO the Solar Beam, but I think this is going to be quite underwhelming damage. Solar Beam. Oof. Still does decent damage to be fair. Harrow recognises we're going to get Mud Slap farm down before the next Solar Beam's reached. Fires off the Body Slam, double debuffed. I think might have actually healed Claydol. This Claydol energy is going to be quite threatening to both our Pokemon. Ice Beam would be double super effective into Jumpluff. Rock Tomb would also be super effective. Whereas Diggersby would also take super effective from the Ice Beam. We don't commit to the Fairy Wind farm down, throw the Aerial Ace, removing Claydol from the field of play, and we are spamming the switch. Out comes Diggersby, and once again we see this very annoying double Mud Slap team. Harrow not fucking around, going straight for the Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam, bang, there it is. Shout out the GOAT, Oxford U for that quote. Another Marowak gets absolutely rocked. It's now a one-shielded Marshmallow, looking to 1v2. Back out comes the Marshmallow. Harrow going to fire off the Scorching Sands. Scorching Sands forced to final protection. We're looking to pivot out. Switch Timer finally pops up, but we're instantly going to get debuffed. Jumpluff going to shield up the Icy Wind. Harrow going to overfarm, fire off the Solar Beam. At -1, Solar Beam should still get the job done, and it does. Get that Wigglytuff off my screen, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Shadow Lapras in the lead, somewhat of a core breaker. Ice Beam will be double super effective in his Jumpluff, and the Sparkling Oreos will hit Diggersby for super effective. We're actually able to force ourselves an early shield advantage. And we're actually looking to call the bait. Come on, trainer, bait us, I dare you. They actually throw the Skull Bash. Oh boy. Lapras, you might be buffed up, but guess what? We're running Solar Beam. Solar Beam still picks up the one-shot. Lapras, insanely bulky, and they had a buffed up defense. That is absurd damage. Absolutely criminal. Oh, I never thought I'd have so much fun shoutcasting 3 bulky Pokemon, but we are having a good time. Oh, we even land a Hyper Beam on the Shadow Jumpluff. I've lost the plot. What is going on? Come on, Jamie, pull yourself together. We invest the Protect Shield on Diggersby and look to fire off a Scorching Sands, which is triple resisted. I don't even think it knocks out from here. Let's find out. Does a triple resisted Scorching Sands knock out Shadow Jumpluff? No, it does not. We actually simul swap with Licky, far too thicky, facing off against the channel mascot Drapion. We see the instant no shield from Harrow, as of course Crunch does come with a 30% chance to debuff our defense. So subsequential ones after that can potentially do more. Harrow fires off the Body Slam, one roller, and attempted next Body Slam throw, but Drapion already at the next charge move. We're going to see Harrow invest the Protect Shield, getting baited with the Aqua Tail, but undeterred, one roller, and the Body Slam for optimal fast move timing. Body Slam commands the final Protect Shield. We pivot into Jumpluff, look to fire off the Aerial Ace, but lose CMP. Even a non-stab resisted Aqua Tail will be moving Jumpluff from the field of play. Harrow waits out his clock. We send back out Licky, far too thicky. The opponent doesn't attempt to make a catch. Body Slam removes Drapion from the field of play. Back out comes Jumpluff. We're able to reach the next Body Slam, and Harrow gonna pick up yet another crazy dub. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, I'm gonna get through this one without laughing, or at least attempt to. We see a dreadful lead and somewhat of a core breaker. We say switch into the Big Fat Bunny and bait out Gastrodon. We waste no time. Right off the bat, YOLO the Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam! Oh! Who shields that, man? Come on. Harrow instantly no shields, happy with Diggersby's contribution, obtaining himself a shield advantage. This is going to set up a massive farm down for our Jumpluff, meaning we can potentially Solar Beam Dugong. Jumpluff Dugong is literally like the most miserable matchup ever. However, with Solar Beam, Jumpluff might have a little something to say about that. I think the correct play here is Aerial Ace. You could potentially undercharge and then look to farm down after that. We do throw the Aerial Ace. We probably don't even need to undercharge, to be honest, as we're not a Shadow, and the Aerial Ace definitely looks like Aerial Ass. You can now see we've received the energy for the Solar Beam, and there is no chance Dugong shields right. Dugong's insanely bulky. They're probably thinking, trainer, if you've got Energy Ball, enjoy yourself. And I promise, trainer, when you return, we will enjoy ourselves. The opponent fires off probably about the 100th body slam. We easily withstand the damage. Back out comes Dugong. Does the opponent respect the damage? Solar Beam. Oof, massive damage. We then pivot into Licky, far too thicky, and out comes Annihilate. Harrow potentially putting himself in a spot where he's going to do his best impersonation of me, saving 2 shields for next season. We're actually going for the body slam bait. Body slam forces the opponent's final protect shield, unfortunately unable to reach the Solar Beam. However, as the opponent's shielders, if we can reach double Aerial Ace, I think we get the dub, but we are so low. Jumpluff obliged to start shielding up absolutely everything. We're going to shield up the boosted Rage Fist. The opponent pivots into Dugong, attempt the Ice Shard snipe. Jumpluff fires off the Aerial Ace. Do we have enough HP to reach one more? In Jumpluff, I believe. Annihilate looks to counter farm down. They don't get there, and we are going to escape with a dub. What a game! Mission accomplished, not a single laugh in that battle. Heading into the next battle, we see the Jumpluff mirror. We saw last time Harrow threw 7 Fairy Winds, then attempted to catch a potential acrobatics onto the big fat bunny. I really like this player a lot. Of course, today's team is an ABB team where we are double weak to fight in. Speaking of which, the opponent does send out said fighter that, of course, Lickilicky doesn't want to see. Primate would absolutely eat this thing alive. The Ice Punch variant of Shadow Primate actually has play into the entirety of our team. Harrow wisely fires off the Aerial Ace before the opponent potentially Ice Punch us to the face, removing Primate from the field of play. The opponent sends back out Jumpluff. We're going to fire off the Aerial Ace. We've actually got the energy for acrobatics, so actually do command a protect shield. Very nice energy management from Harrow. We pivot into Licky, far too thicky, and out comes Gator. Oh baby, please. Please, trainer. I promise we're just going to throw a body slam. It's just a body slam, trainer. Would I lie to you? Solar Beam! Get that Gator off my screen. Back out comes Jumpluff, but the damage is already done. Harrow with 2 shields tied behind. Going to start shielding up Licky, and why not? Because these rollouts are hitting for super effective. Not that you'd really know that, as that is such an underwhelming non-stab move. We tank the Aerial Ace, 1 rollout, and the next body slam. And we're actually almost doubled up. We can actually steal 1 and throws. We probably survive 2 further Fairy Winds, but we play it safe. Fire off the next body slam. Body slam rocks the opponent low. We pivot into Jumpluff, and we now find ourselves in the bait game. We're going to call the Aerial Ace bait. The opponent falls in the acrobatics, but Jumpluff able to hang on. The opponent makes a mistake, not committing to fast moves, giving us a free Fairy Wind. This should allow Harrow to double up. We're actually already doubled up, so unless that Fairy Wind knocks us out, which I highly doubt it does, this game will end in a big fat dub. Oh man, that poor old Gator. He was so young, man. GG's. Unfortunately, heading into the final battle of today's shoutcast, a huge shout out to Ohharrowdere. This has been epic. You really have brought us some entertainment today. Although, hold up. We might have time for one more sneaky beam. Come on, Claydol. Ah. The opponent, an absolute chicken. Shield up the Solar Beam, but we send out Diggersby, making the Rock Tomb catch. Unfortunately, with debuff, the Hyper Beam won't pick up the 1-hit KO, but it's still going to be fun to YOLO one regardless. Hopefully the opponent YOLO the Ice Beam, which is very easily survivable, and then we've only got a -1 attack. Ohharrowdere recognising the Hyper Beam won't be lethal. Looks like he's going on the path of double Scorching Suns, which would do more. We land the first. We're able to land the second. The opponent going to be forced to dump energy as well, and this just sets up a farm down for Jumpluff. I've still got some faith that one more beam's going to land today. Come on, Jumpluff. Get that farm down. Jumpluff does exactly that. The opponent sends out Tinkaton. We really don't like that Pokemon whatsoever. But we've beat one, and we're not going to write Ohharrowdere off just yet. Back out comes Furret. Furret going to fire off the Swift. Swift lands for heavy neutral damage. And Ohharrowdere going to go for the Body Slam spam. The first Body Slam goes unshielded. Ohharrowdere actually committing to the beam now. We should survive any one move. And I doubt the opponent shields this thing, as they recognise That Tinkaton is definitely going to be a problem. There's the Solar Beam we all love to see. Solar Beam picks up the one-hit KO. We pivot into Jumpluff, and we're actually going for the Aerial Ace bait. Solar Beam, of course, would do more, but the opponent does need to shield something, and they do shield the first move, thinking we're unlikely to bait such a bulky Pokemon. Well, Surprise Trainer, you got baited. Ohharrowdere now has the free opportunity to land that big Hail Mary. Solar Beam. Oh, that's such underwhelming damage. Ohharrowdere with 2 shields, gonna call a triple resisted Bulldoze bait. What an absolute savage. And with that call, with 2 shields intact, I think we're home and dry. Ohharrowdere lands 1 further Solar Beam, rocking the opponent deep into the red health range. We roll out Farm Down Tinkaton. Who was worried? Evidently I was, but no need to be as we take that game. I can honestly say, in the over 3 years I've been posting on YouTube, that without a doubt was one of the most fun shoutcasts I've ever featured. I can't quite believe we did not have one single Shadow Pokemon. That submission is going to take some topping. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button if you're new. Consider subscribing if you'd like your battles featured on my channel. A link to a battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.